Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's me, SB. If you are here from the intro video, thank you very much. I'm not going to go through all the materials that we need. I will leave a card in the corner there and a link in the description below where you can find that video. So let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So what you're going to need is the larger crochet hook and your yarn. And we're going to start with the slip knot like always. And we are working on the extra small. So for the extra small or small, we are going to chain 41. So go ahead and chain 41. And in the second chain from the hook, we are going to half double crochet. And we are going to half double crochet all the way across to one before the end. So that should be a total of 39 half double crochets. If you don't have the correct stitch count, you might have chained more or less. I'm going to make sure to place all the different variations for the different sizes up there at the top, so that way you know your size. Okay, so here is our last chain. And in this last chain, we are going to place 3 half double crochets. And this is going to be true for all of the sizes. 3 half double crochet, chain 1, 3 half double crochet, all into that last chain. If you want, you can use a stitch marker to mark that chain 1 space, because sometimes it can get a little difficult to see it. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and we're going to be working on the opposite side of our chain. And you're simply going to half double crochet into every single stitch across. Just be sure that you get every single stitch. I have a tendency to skip some, so just work mindfully and slowly right here, because sometimes, yeah, you get in a hurry, and or I do, and I wind up skipping some. So yeah, and you should have a total of 39 half double crochets right here on the opposite side of the chain. As always, make sure you get into all of your stitches, because that last stitch is kind of hard to see, but it is there. So let's go ahead and move on to row 2, and this is what yours should be looking like so far. So row 2, we are going to chain 1 and turn, and we are going to half double crochet all the way across to our stitch marker. And if you're not using a stitch marker, just go all the way to the chain 1 and I will meet you there. Alright, so here I am working my last half double crochet, and there is my chain 1. In the chain 1 space, you are going to place 2 half double crochets, chain 1, and 2 half double crochets, all into that one chain space. So after you chain the chain 1, go ahead and move your stitch marker into that chain 1. I just find it easier because I tend to, I don't know how I manage to do this, but I tend to start losing the chain 1 space and somehow moving it over in between the half double crochets, and it starts to get crooked. So I just find it a little easier. So once you do that, all you're going to do is work half double crochets all the way to the end. And yeah, this row is going to be your repeat pattern for the rest of the top, for the rest of the one panel that we're working on. I'm going to show you one more time how to do it, and then you're just going to continue on for your size, which is listed right there. And yeah, I will be sure to meet you back whenever I complete both panels. You're going to complete both panels exactly the same way. There's not going to be anything different about them. So yeah, make sure you complete 2, and I'll meet you back. Before I forget, go ahead on your second panel, do not fasten off. On your first panel, fasten off because you have to make the second one. But on the second one, when you complete it, do not fasten off your work. So the total rows that you should have for each size, you should have 14 total rows for one panel for the extra small or small, 19 total rows for the medium large, and 23 total rows for the large extra large. So I just wanted to clarify that because sometimes it gets a little bit confusing. Well, at least it confuses me. So yeah, just remember your total rows. Okay, so this is my first panel complete. I'm just giving you a rough measurement. Mine is about 6¼ and remember that this is for the small or the extra small. And yeah, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine as long as it's between 6 and 6½ inches. That's perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fasten off my first panel and start my second one. So yeah, so this is just giving you an idea of how big around it is. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark my front side, which I'm gonna determine which side I want it to be. And yeah, it just makes it a little easier when you do that. So yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and complete our front panels, and I'll meet you whenever I complete my second one. Okay, so here is one of my panels complete, and here is the other one. So what I did was I placed a stitch marker on the right side of my work because I wanted to make sure that I knew which side it was. And on my other panel, I actually weaved in my tail while I was working. So there you go, that marked the back. So now we're going to be attaching this in the center. So you're going to put your right sides together, and if you want to use the tail from the second one, go ahead and adjust your panels there like I did, and you're just going to place one on top of the other. And what I did was I did a slip stitch together for 7 inches, which you'll see here in a bit. You have the option of doing a slip stitch, a single crochet, or simply cutting your yarn and sewing it together. That is completely up to you. And also what's adjustable is the length that you attach them together, because this is going to determine how much cleavage you're going to be showing, and that is very adjustable. So I suggest that you kind of maybe clip them together to see where it's going to kind of stay, and kind of stretch it out just a bit, because this is a very stretchy, fabric. And so that way you can see where the fit's going to be. Because the first one that I made was a little bit too low cut for me. And yeah, anyways, enjoy watching me piece it together. So I realized that I forgot to mark the stitch where I wanted my top to end right there, where I'm seaming it together. So that is a good suggestion to go ahead and add a stitch marker so you know exactly where you're going. So once you finish that, go ahead and fasten off, and we are done. So now all that is left is to weave in your ends. As you can see, I had already done that whenever I was working on it, so that's easy. And yeah, so this top, or this part 1 is complete, and we will be moving on to part 2, which is attaching the back. And yeah, so hopefully you complete all this before then. It should be out next week, a week after this video is live. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will leave an iCard in the corner and in the description below to the info video, just in case you need any information on gauge, measurements, where to find the pattern, which I am currently getting the pattern worked on right now and making some final touches, so it should be live and ready to go for you guys on Ravelry, and so you can follow along or you can work ahead, whatever you'd like. It should be up right now while this video is live. Hopefully I'll be able to get it up. If not, it'll be up for part 2. But yeah, just continue on making your panels and, you know, making some little final adjustments, and I'll meet you in part 2 where we will put the back panel on, and then hopefully it'll just be 2 parts. If not, we'll do 3 parts. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next video. And I hope you enjoy making this pattern. I know I do. Okay, anyways, guys, thank you. Bye.